In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use masking to add a bit of fun to your videos. Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I hope you're all well. Us here in the UK are halfway through a 4-week lockdown. So I can only go out for exercise or to buy essential food and bits and bobs. Anyway, let's move on to today's video. What I want to do is take you further on from my previous video talking about masking basics. So what I want to do is use masking again, but I'm going to introduce some movement, like using that superhero introduction landing thing that I showed you at the beginning of this video. So we're going to use masking techniques, use the transformation tool, which again I showed you in the previous video, and then we're going to introduce keyframes so that we can throw ourselves into shot. So let's get into it and I'll show you how this very simple effect is done. Step 1. The first thing you want to do is add a piece of video without you in it. This is what's known as a clean plate in visual effects terms, and it just means that the subject that you want to mask or use is not in the picture. It doesn't need to be very long, just a few seconds should do this. Step 2. The next thing you want to do is add the bit of video of you jumping. Now what you want to do is find the bit where you actually jump, and you want to move frame by frame until you get to the point where you're just landing on the ground. You can see me there, it's a big jump. Try and make it quite big because we're going to be dropping you from above, so you're going to want to make it look quite convincing. So just about there is where I land. So what I should do is create a freeze frame or a hold. There's two ways you can do this. You can either go up to this speed dial here and you can go to hold, but I prefer just to press Shift H. Just trim the bit at the beginning to get rid of the moving parts, because this is going to be the frame of me dropping into shot. I've just expanded it out a bit more so you can see it. We've now got this hold section. What we want to do is isolate that bit. So if you click on the red bar, if you're in Final Cut Pro, it isolates the bit that's in hold, so I can then cut it at the point that I want to. So that's a separate clip. I've now moved that as a separate clip. Now we want to add a draw mask to the portion of the clip that's now frozen. Step 3 is to draw around yourself. A good tip is to zoom in to at least 200%. If you want to do this properly, I'll go up to 400%, and then make sure that you're accurate in your masking. It doesn't have to be exact because you can feather it a little bit once you've drawn your mask. And the blurriness of me is going to add to the movement of me dropping into frame, so that's good. We now have myself masked out. So you can now see we've got this hold clip of me masked out, and then it goes through into the actual video of me moving. We now need to move this hold video of me masked out onto the clean plate. Okay, so we need to go to the end of the clip, the whole clip, and we need to add a keyframe, and add a keyframe to the position in the transformation box over here. Let's move about 4 or 5 frames back, and then what we need to do is move ourselves out of the way. Just adjust your position out of frame like that. So you can see if I zoom out, you can see my mask is now outside of the clip. And then once we play back, I fall into shot. If I do this slowly, you can see how it all comes together. Now, because we've already added a keyframe at the end of the clip, when I move back and adjust myself out of frame and I move the position, Final Cut Pro knows that I've already created a keyframe in one part of the clip, so as I move it, it knows that I'm going to want to use a keyframe for that second part, because it knows that I'm using different positions throughout that one clip. So if we go back, and if we just let it play, you'll see I drop into shot. There I go. Now there's a couple of other things you can do to make this effect even better. Sound effects, of course, as you come down, a good thud is really good, but we can also add a bit of shaking when I land. So in this clip here, the last clip, what I can do is add the earthquake effect. And again, we'll use keyframes to fade it out because we don't want the earthquake effect going through the whole of the clip. So I'll go to the start of the clip here, and we shall add a keyframe just there because it looks alright. It's a little bit rumbly there, and we'll move about quarter of a second, half second onwards. So that's 8 frames, and I'll move the amount down to 0. So now when I land, should get a little rumble, and then it smooths out and the clip plays on. And that is it. Again, it looks quite good, very simple. It's just practice, just practice. Of course, if you want to go over the top, add more vibration, make it go on for longer, it's your video. So that's this effect wrapped up. It uses masking, transformation to move the position of you or your subject, because you could use a banana, it doesn't have to be a person, you could use anything, and keyframes. If there's anything else that you want to know more about, please drop a comment below, and I'll potentially look at making another video in the future. Just let me know what you want to see, what you want to do, and put it down in the comments. That'd be great. That's it for this video. Just did a little video effects type tutorial. Very simple, 3 steps. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, you know what you need to do. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.